Hello, this is your digital diva, Susanna Sophia Kramer, with another Photoshop tutorial. The one we're going to work on today is called Refine Edge. Now, when shooting these wonderful black and white border collies, I wanted them on a white background. But you can see the background isn't white, completely white, and that is because the lights I had on my background were not strong enough to overpower the lights that were on the dogs themselves. So also the background paper that I used was not wide enough to contain this image. And so here we have a problem. Excuse me. So in order for it to look the way I want it, I'm going to have to mask the subjects out of the image and replace the background. Now, this isn't as difficult as you might expect, thanks to a wonderful tool in Photoshop called Refine Edge. Now, this tool is available anytime you make a selection. So we are going to choose the Quick Selection tool, which is nested with the magic wand in the toolbox. So you can press W on the keyboard or select it with your mouse. Up in the options bar, I have sample all layers checked, and I also have checked the plus. This means that without pressing any keys, any time that I select anything, it is going to be a plus. And in order to deselect, all I need to do is press the Alt option bar, option on the Mac, and deselect the whole thing. So we're going to start over with the plus selection tool, and I'm going to make my brush a little bit bigger, and I'm going to start selecting. So as I run down the edge of these jeans, you can see that it's actually doing a pretty good job. I want to include the shadow of selecting what I want. I go up the other leg and down the boot, and now the white part of the dog, including feet. Now you can see in places it's jumping over the edge. I'm going to wait until I'm done and then go back and fix those areas. But meantime, I'm just going to continue selecting. As quickly as I can. This is pretty good, but you see now we've jumped down to a whole lot of paper. So now I'm going to press the Alt key on the PC, the Option key on the Mac, and you can see that there is a minus in the brush now. I don't know if you can see that on the video, but believe me, it's there. And I'm going to go around deselecting what I don't want. Okay, I see that I don't have the jeans completely selected, so I will go back here and select those. I seem to be interfering with the former deselect. That's the problem here, so I should have chosen everything. Alright, so now I'm going to go back here to the edge of the jeans and tidy it up a bit with the minus brush. And then here we need a little plus. But sometimes to tidy up you can make your brush a little bit smaller. Okay, I want to have these hairs in the selection, And this is coming along pretty well. Some of the hairs up here on the ears and the side of this dog's face. Whoops, what happened? Oh, I see. So now we've got, oh, this is not very good, is it? Okay. There we go. Sometimes this is what happens. You try to do it too fast and it gets silly on you. I got to get all these little deselected areas out. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Okay, so I think I'm going to switch to the lasso tool. And now I have to use the shift key to add what I want. And the Alt key, Option key, to deselect what I don't want. Okay, this is a little more precise. It won't keep jumping around, making up its own mind. It's going to do what I ask it to. Take that away. Okay, I think that'll do for our purposes now. So now if we go up to the top of the options bar, you can see here Refine Edge. So I'm going to click on that, and right away it's showing me on a white background. So you can show the radius, you can show the original, you can have it on a marching ants, you can have it on an overlay, you can have it on black, you can have it on white, you can have it black on white, you can have it on layers. But for this purpose, since we want a white background anyway, I'm going to put it on white. Now the first thing I'm going to do is click on Smart Radius, because sometimes the program can get a pretty close thing by itself. I'm going to start increasing the Smart Radius, and you can see the edge starting to pop in. I'm going to put it up pretty high. Ah, it's starting to look very good. Let's go all the way. I'm looking at this ear up here. All right, so let's set it off about there. So now what we can do is take our brush and just paint over the areas that aren't quite right. Fix that one. Let me zoom in a little. And paint over there. And right here we need to paint. That's good. And down in this area. Very good. And looks like we're all right here. I don't know if these ears have a little more going for them. There we go. And that looks pretty good. So now I'm going to say, you can say decontaminate colors. And that will take what's left of those background colors out of the picture. Now, we have choices for our output. We can output to a selection, a layer mask, a new layer, a new document, a document with a layer mask. I'm going to have a new layer with a layer mask. And I'm going to say, OK. And now you can see here is my new layer with the layer mask, and below it is the original, which has been turned off. This is perfect, but I just see that I have missed rather an important part right here. Oops, that's the lasso. Let me get the brush. So now I'm going to see with, oh, so my foreground and background colors are not the default. So I'm going to press D on the keyboard to bring them back to default. And I'm going to paint on the layer mask, and I'm going to use black and paint out that little bit of color. Let me zoom in and paint out some of that color that I don't want to have in there. Okay. There we go. So now, let me make this a little smaller. Our next step is to click on the background layer and then go down to here and choose a new layer, which will come in underneath your Refine Edge layer. And on that layer, we will go up to Edit, Fill, Normal, and I'm just going to choose white and say OK. And there we have it, our new background looking just the way I anticipated it. So there you have it, Refine Edge. Whoops, I left out a foot. Okay, I'm going to turn off the background layer and go back to the layer mask. And with white, I think, in the foreground, I can bring back that foot. There we go. This is bringing it back from the background layer. Okay, turn on this, and there we have it. So this is Susanna, your digital diva, signing off. Catch you next time. Bye-bye.